Welcome, folks. This is Tom O'Brien of TFNN. We're out 5 days a week. We go 9 hours a day. We go 24 hours a day on the internet at TFNN.com. Always remember, folks, whatever you think about, you bring about. Whatever you focus on grows. Got my partner, Mr. Steve Rhodes, growling and prowling with us out here. What's going on, brother? That's a beautiful thing. That's right. Let's take a look at one of our 4 agreements. Transform your life. When you refuse to take things personally, you avoid many upsets in your life. Your feelings of anger, jealousy, and even sadness will simply disappear if you don't take them personally. Market-wise, let's take a look at it. We have the Dow down 136, NASDAQ off 37, S&P's off 17, gold contract up $13, trading at $1,322 an ounce. Now, check this out, folks, and Steve. This is pretty amazing. You know, Steve, we're up at highs at the gold market, right? You know,
yes.
And folks, if you know, Steve and I, we've been on a lot together, and when we were looking at the central banks are coming in buying the gold, right? And it's like,
right,
man, I remember saying, you know, if you remember, folks, the Bank of England sold 4 tons at the bottom. Well, guess what? The central banks right now, as of today, are sitting on a loss of $544 billion with the B.
Yeah, I saw that earlier this morning.
Isn't
I think Russia's been the biggest accumulator, I think.
Yeah, that's good. They can buy. They'll probably stop buying now. They'll stop buying when it gets down to 1150, where they should be buying. What a trip, though, right? No doubt.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Bonds up 13 ticks at 133.12. We get the King dollar. She was down 205, trading at 80.01. The euro is up 20 at 135.77. S&P's, check it out, folks, okay? This is going to get interesting to see how this whole thing shakes out. Why? Because if you take a look at the cash S&P, what we had is this. You're down today, you did $541 million, but that, you know what, the 541, folks, is going into that Thursday number. And that Thursday number is a decent number. It's 703. If we go look at the NASDAQ composite, okay, it's even a heavier deal. The composite really, you know, you're down $37, but the bottom line is that you did $1.4 billion. That's going into $1.8 billion, you know. So there's no doubt at the end of the day here, you get a fast sell-off. It come up to that 79.50, and it couldn't handle that 79.50 mark. That 79.50, folks, was the mark going all the way over from the 3rd. When you take a look at an intraday chart, it got up to that 79.50, just couldn't handle it. You had volume come out on the downside. We'll see whether it can basically break Thursday's lows, but I suspect the same thing. You get a volatile market there, but they still haven't been able to get enough downtrend going to break these lows out here. So it's going to get interesting. Dollar index, we got with the dollar out here, folks. Dollar index right now, she backed down 21 ticks, 210 ticks, 13,000 contracts. She wants higher price. And the big number, no doubt, is these bonds. Bonds right now, folks, you only did 13 ticks today, but these bonds, the 30 and the 10-year, let me pull this 10-year, TYZ3. Okay, so, the 10, they're both sitting, they've been sitting there about 2 weeks. And my take is they're building cars to get topside. So we'll see where this whole baby does shake out. So how you been, man?
Doing good. You know, loving this market here with volatility. So it's been making for some pretty great day trades out there. I think, you know, for longer-term traders, a bit frustrating because depending on which market you take a look at, you know, we've been moving sideways for quite some time. Certainly, at least at the highs inside the Russell, inside the NDX, inside the composite out there.
Yes.
You know, the Dow moving lower. I think that the markets are, you know, when I take a look at, for me, I love looking at the 30-minute charts on the ES Mini especially.
Okay.
For me, it just visually gives me just a great heartbeat and some great trading patterns out there. You know, it looks like, well, if we go back to the highs on the 30-minute chart, just back to the day after Ben Bernanke's announcement.
Okay.
You know, now the S&P, the ES Mini's been in a downtrend. Now the cool thing is that each time it tries to break it, as you were saying earlier, it gets thrown back. But the great thing is that when we take a look at volume, you know, it doesn't have the volume to bust things out at the lows. So it gives us a really great tool to be able to watch to see if in fact this trend can reverse.
No,
and we'll be able to see it so clearly.
The thing that's amazing, folks, there's no two ways about it, that you get a picture of something, right? You get a government shutdown happening. You get a bunch of,
Sure.
folks that are absolutely out of their mind running the rest of us. And the market has actually held up. It's like, oh, really? Yeah.
No, it really, it has. It'll be interesting to see the handoff tonight, obviously to Asia. It's not as if we finished very strongly out here. And, the market had the opportunity this morning after the initial sell-off to come back. Didn't do it. Again, still not the volume at the lows, but Shanghai's been was closed for Golden Week for 5 trading sessions. It'll be interesting to see how that market trades.
Yeah, no doubt. Hey, so check this out. This morning, right, Steve? I'm all weekend long, folks. All you're hearing is all this garbage, and about the politics, right? And all of a sudden, I woke up and I said, you know what, man? This almost sounds like to me. Do you remember when they were, folks? It was on a continual basis. If you remember the Cold War, like Russia was supposed to always going to, basically we had to worry about Russia, and then all of a sudden, Reagan took Russia out in 2 seconds, and there was nothing to worry about. And in fact, there was nothing to worry about. Period. I'm telling you, I'm looking at this whole debt thing, and I'm saying to myself, guess what? I'm not even saying it probably could happen, and still nothing's going to happen. It's just like a whole fear deal. It's like, oh, really? They have the whole country on the edge, to keep things entertained. It's like, and it's going to be interesting to see where this shakes out. But I really think that now. I'm not kidding. That they're all full of it. Period.
Well, there's no question. The fear. What sells newspapers and everything else. It's fear.
Yeah.
I thought there were so many great football games on this weekend that it was nice. It was nice just to turn off all of that political stuff.
Totally.
And really just not even pay much attention. Watch the futures open last night. They opened down. It gave me a nice, quick little trading opportunity out there in one of the trading strategies that I trade. But what I really like is that the clarity of the setup if the market does break out. It's going to be so clear and easy to play. Likewise, if it doesn't, then it'll still just simply remain in this downtrend, and then eventually the NDX will probably, or the composite will signal that doesn't matter what's going to happen, the market's going to move lower. Right now, it's not the signal out there, but we've got to prepare for both sides of the trade. Whatever the market gives us, right?
There's no doubt. And what does get interesting is that one of the tigers in the den said, "Folks, he wanted to do a DC uptrade. Is he crazy? You're absolutely crazy, Z. There's no doubt about it."
Yeah.
But we're all crazy, so don't worry about that. No, the amazing thing, folks. Okay, is that I'm telling you, we watch how this thing plays out because. It's just bogus. The whole thing's bogus, man.
No question. You can, the frustration is it's easy to see, it's easy to feel, no matter which side of it that you're on. So you got frustration, it's 100% frustration. For me, it's just like, okay, tune all that stuff out, come back, see what the markets are doing, see what they're really trading, see what the patterns are, see what the signals are, and just be ready to trade.
There's no doubt. There's no doubt, and it's pretty defined right now, folks. I mean. It's really defined, actually, because and the Nasdaq, the Nasdaq has stayed at these highs, man. I mean, the Nasdaq right now is going to be really a decent signal because we've been up here for 15 days and it hasn't backed off. $37 is nothing, so we'll see where this whole baby goes. But
well, even like the Dow transports. So the Dow's been getting just nailed. But if you look at the Dow transports, today's the first day back inside the May 22nd area. Yeah. And it's just slightly got back underneath inside the lower part of the range.
Yeah.
It's a real interesting market.
The most deviant thing, folks, we'll see where it shakes out, but I think that high is going to get tested, man. I mean, and it's sick, but you know what? I don't know how it's going to happen, but that 1729 to 1776 can be gained, which is, the way it's sold down at the close, I can see that that's pretty intense. Because every time it went into that 79 out here today, it just gave it up in spades, man.
Yes,
no doubt. Mr. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien, you stay right there, folks. We got a great guest spot coming up for you next. We got our man, Mr. John Logan. John, folks, you come over to our website at TFNN. He's the developer of the Signal Box and the developer of a lot more than just the Signal Box, different programs. He's going to be calling in live, and he is all the way in Asia, folks. You stay right there. We're coming right back.